Good morning. He is risen. He is risen indeed. Alleluia. Happy Easter. It is early morning before the sun comes up here at Zion, and I just wanted to take a couple minutes to give you a little insight on Easter Sunday and why we celebrate it and why it's important to be part of our worship life. So like I said, it's early morning. Normally we don't have a service so early in the morning, but on this day we do. And I wouldn't say it's necessarily early. Our first service is at 8 o'clock, and then we have a 10:30 service a little bit later on. But it's going to be busy here at Zion. It's one of those days that a lot of people will come out to worship, and it's good to see. And of course, we would love to see everybody come back week after week. Sometimes we don't see that. Sometimes with others we do. But we're going to join in celebration nonetheless. And I invite you to join us this morning. So, as we think about Easter Sunday, really, this is the Sunday that is the foundation for every single Sunday that we meet. If it weren't for Easter, Christians would not be getting together. I would not be giving you this video. We wouldn't have this sanctuary here. We would not be celebrating anything. There would be no church if there were no Easter. And that is because after we've gone through Maundy, Thursday, we followed Jesus into that upper room. We watched him wash his disciples' feet, institute the Last Supper with the giving of the bread and the wine. We saw him go out into the garden to be betrayed by Judas. We saw him tried before the Jewish council, before the Roman governor Pilate. We saw him condemned in front of the people to crucifixion. We watched him carry his own cross up to Golgotha or Calvary, where he was nailed to and hung on the cross. He died, he was buried. The stone was rolled in front of the tomb. A guard was placed outside. And perhaps that's one of the funniest verses in Scripture. I believe it's in the Gospel of Mathew that they really talk about the guard outside. The people, the leaders there, they are so concerned that Jesus might actually be right, that they said, we really need to seal that tomb and put a guard outside just to make sure nothing happens. Like that's going to make a difference, right? And I just find that so hilarious. That they will do everything in their possible power to prevent Jesus from coming out of that tomb, but it doesn't matter. It absolutely doesn't matter because Jesus is alive. He is risen indeed. Alleluia. And so on Easter morning, early before dawn, kind of like where I am right now, a couple women go out to the tomb to prepare Jesus' body with spices so as to preserve the body a little bit. Of course, the day before was the Sabbath, and the Passover is involved in here too. So many of those preparations they couldn't do that they would normally have done. And so this is part of the grieving process and part of the burial process. And so the women go out to the tomb, and they see that the stone is already rolled away from the tomb. And they are just overwhelmed with what is going on. Some of the gospel accounts will share this a little bit differently. But in, I want to say, the Gospel of John, the one I'm most familiar with, they go back to the disciples and they say that he's not there. And Peter and John run to the tomb, and Peter goes first and he starts running, but John outruns him. I don't know why John had to put that in his gospel that he outran Peter, but he did. And so John got to the tomb first. He looked inside, but Peter, when he got there, he kind of like pushed John aside and like went right in. And there he saw Jesus' grave clothes there, sitting nicely folded in a pile, and his headcloth separate from the rest. And of course, he's gone, and they leave in wonder of what's happening. And Mary Magdalene is there, and she's crying, and she's just not sure what has happened at this point, and she is upset. She's crying in the garden, and someone comes up behind her, and it's Jesus, but she doesn't know this. And so she says to this person, supposing him to be the gardener, if you've taken his body, tell me where it is so that I may go and bring it back. And she still hasn't recognized Jesus at this point until he says her name. He says, Mary. And she turns around, she sees him, and it's through him speaking her name that she recognizes him. And she wants to embrace him, but he says, no, not yet. But go and tell my disciples. And so she goes, and she preaches the first Christian sermon ever recorded. 3 short words, or not 3 short words, I guess it turns into 3 short words, he is risen. But it's 4. I have seen the Lord. That's what she says to the disciples. I have seen the Lord. And that's the first recorded Easter sermon that we know of, and it was just a wonderful day. And so that's the story of Easter. We know that he is risen. He is risen indeed. Alleluia. And we're going to come to worship, and we're going to celebrate that. And what a joyful celebration it's going to be. You'll see that I'll show you our sanctuary is decked out in decoration and ready for the day that is coming, that is here. And what a day it is going to be. So let me take you around here. I want to show you just what I mean by celebrating here. So you'll see we have the cross. This is the same cross that we brought out at Good Friday that I showed you, but now it is veiled in white, and there's nothing but flowers in front of that cross. And then we turn to our altar. How beautiful. Flowers, colors, and I wish I could just give you the smell through the phone that I have here, but no, it is absolutely gorgeous. It smells amazing, and this is how we are going to celebrate the resurrection. We are going to have a wonderful, wonderful day, and you see the tall candle there. We call that our Christ candle, and that Christ candle is lit. It is the resurrection candle. I think you'll see a video later on where I talk about that a little bit more, but that's how we remember that Jesus is risen. It's from that candle right there, and it is lit. And it is burning, and it is bright. And what a good day it's going to be. So, like I said, we have 2 worship services today that you are more than welcome to join us in. We have our 8 o'clock service early this morning, followed by our 10:30 service. Our 10:30 service will have our Zion Voices, our vocal choir, sharing an anthem. We'll have our Angelus Ringers, our adult bell choir sharing an anthem as well. We're going to have brass at both services accompanying our hymns and our music. And it is going to be a glorious and amazing day. So I'm going to finish the video out right here, a little bit shorter than the rest. Maybe you like that. But anyway, happy Easter to you. God's blessings to you on this resurrection day. And go tell the news. Go share the news that Christ is risen. He is risen indeed. Alleluia. God's peace to you all, and we will see you very soon.